Welcome to Master Your Mind and Routine. This audiobook is designed to help you take control of your mind, structure your daily life, achieve results you may have only dreamed about. The way you think and the way you act every single day determine the life you build. Small changes in mindset and routine compound over time into extraordinary outcomes. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to stay updated with more self-improvement content. The power of knowledge is nothing without consistent action. By committing to this audiobook, you've taken the first step toward mastering yourself, and that's something to be proud of. Throughout this journey, you'll discover strategies to develop mental clarity, create productive habits, maintain focus, and overcome the obstacles that hold most people back. These concepts are simple, yet when applied consistently, they can transform the way you live, work, and think. The goal is to guide you step by step, chapter by chapter, so that you can implement these techniques immediately. You'll learn not only what to do, but how to integrate these practices into your daily life, ensuring long-lasting results. By the end of this audiobook, you'll have a toolkit for mastering both your mind and your routine, the foundation of success in any area of life. Get ready to challenge old patterns, embrace new habits, and take control of your mental and daily environment. Your journey toward mastery starts here, and every chapter will build on the last, keeping you engaged, inspired, and ready to act.
Let's get started.
Chapter 1. The Foundation of a Mastered Mind. Before you can master your routine, you must first master your mind. Your mind is the control center of your life. It determines your habits, your reactions, and ultimately the results you achieve. If your thoughts are scattered, negative, or uncontrolled, your daily actions will reflect that chaos. Building a solid foundation begins with understanding the power of your thoughts and how they shape your reality. The first step is awareness. Becoming aware of your thoughts is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly you can see what was previously hidden. Most people go through life on autopilot, allowing automatic thoughts, emotions, and impulses to guide their action. Awareness is the first act of control. By observing your thoughts without judgment, you start to recognize patterns, triggers, and habits that have been running your life. Mindset is at the core of mastery. A fixed mindset tells you that your abilities and intelligence are set in stone, while a growth mindset embraces learning, effort, and persistence. To master your mind, cultivate a growth mindset. Every challenge is an opportunity, every failure a lesson, and every effort a step toward improvement. With this mindset, obstacles are no longer threats, but opportunities to strengthen your mental resilience. Self-talk is another powerful tool. The words you use internally influence your confidence, focus, and motivation. Negative self-talk can sabotage progress, creating doubt, fear, and hesitation. Positive, constructive self-talk encourages action, persistence, and belief in your abilities. Begin by noticing your internal dialogue and consciously replacing self-limiting statements with empowering ones. Instead of thinking, "I can't do this," tell yourself, "I will learn, improve, and grow through this challenge." Visualization strengthens mental control. When you vividly imagine success, your brain begins to accept it as possible. Athletes, performers, and leaders use visualization to prepare mentally for high-pressure situations. Spend time daily imagining yourself achieving your goals, handling obstacles, and executing tasks with confidence. The mind doesn't always distinguish between imagined success and real practice. Both shape your neural pathways and reinforce your capabilities. Focus and attention are critical components of a mastered mind. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, from notifications to constant information overload. The ability to direct your attention to what truly matters separates those who achieve from those who drift. Focus isn't just about effort. It's about consistent, intentional action toward high-priority goals. Emotional regulation is another pillar. A mastered mind doesn't eliminate emotions, but it controls their influence on decisions and behavior. Impulses, anger, Fear or doubt can hijack your actions if left unchecked. By practicing mindfulness, deep breathing, and reflection, you can observe emotions without being controlled by them. This skill creates space for rational thinking, wise decisions, and steady progress. Habits are the bridge between mind mastery and routine mastery. Your daily actions are the physical expression of your mental patterns. If your mind is structured, disciplined, and intentional, your habits will naturally follow. But without conscious effort, habits form unconsciously, often aligned with temporary pleasure rather than long-term goals. Understanding the connection between thoughts, emotions, and behavior allows you to design habits that reinforce your mastery. Another essential principle is self-discipline. Discipline is the ability to act in alignment with your goals, even when motivation wanes. A mastered mind doesn't rely solely on fleeting inspiration. It establishes routines, rules, and boundaries that guide behavior consistently. This structure creates stability, predictability, and sustained progress over time. Resilience grows from mental mastery. Life presents challenges, setbacks, and unexpected changes. A controlled mind interprets these events as opportunities to adapt rather than obstacles to despair. Each setback becomes a learning experience, strengthening your capacity to navigate future difficulties. Mental resilience enables you to persist without being derailed by temporary circumstances. Clarity of purpose enhances focus and mental power. When your goals are defined and your why is clear, the mind naturally aligns with your intentions. Ambiguity leads to hesitation, indecision, and wasted energy. By articulating your purpose, you provide the mind with a compass, directing energy toward meaningful action. The foundation of a mastered mind also includes reflection. Regularly reviewing your thoughts, actions, and results allows you to course-correct and reinforce positive patterns. Journaling, meditation, or simply taking time to contemplate your progress ensures that your mind remains aligned with your goals. Reflection transforms awareness into actionable insight, strengthening mental control. Positive reinforcement is key. Celebrate small victories and progress to reinforce desirable thought patterns and behaviors. The mind responds to recognition, motivation, and rewards. By acknowledging growth, you strengthen self-belief and encourage continued effort. Over time, these small acknowledgements compound into powerful mental momentum. Mental flexibility is another trait of mastery. While focus and discipline are critical, rigidity can limit growth. A mastered mind balances persistence with adaptability. You maintain your direction while adjusting strategies based on feedback, experience, and new information. This flexibility prevents frustration and accelerates progress. Environment influences the mind more than most people realize. Surround yourself with positive stimuli, supportive people, and organized spaces. Reduce exposure to negativity, chaos, and distractions. A healthy environment reinforces the internal structure of your mind, making disciplined action easier and more sustainable. Finally, a mastered mind embraces continuous learning. Knowledge, insight, and new skills expand your mental capabilities. Curiosity fuels growth, innovation, and adaptability. Every book you read, every lesson you experience, and every skill you develop strengthens the mental foundation required for mastery. Mastering your mind is not about perfection. It is about consistent control, awareness, and growth. By cultivating focus, emotional regulation, self-talk, visualization, resilience, and reflection, you create the internal conditions necessary for a disciplined, productive life. Your mind becomes a tool, not a master. This foundation sets the stage for mastering routines. When your mind is structured and intentional, designing daily habits, productivity systems, and effective routines becomes natural. Your thoughts guide your actions build habits, and your habits shape your life. Mastery starts within. Build a strong mental foundation, and the routines, habits, and results will follow. Chapter 2. Designing your daily routine for success. Once your mind is under control, the next step is structuring your day. A mastered mind without a consistent routine is like a powerful engine without a roadmap. Your daily routine determines how your mental energy is applied, how your habits form, and ultimately how productive and successful you become. Designing a routine with intention is one of the most powerful actions you can take toward mastering your life. Start by examining your current day. Most people drift through their routines unconsciously, wake up, rush through tasks, scroll on phones, and react to whatever comes first. Without conscious design, your energy is scattered, your time wasted, and your goals left behind. Awareness of how you spend each hour is the foundation of routine mastery. Track your day for a week. Note what activities consume time, which energize you, and which drain you. Once you understand your starting point, begin prioritizing high-value activities. These are actions that directly contribute to your personal growth, productivity, and goals. Focus on tasks that matter most in the morning when mental energy is high. Reserve less critical activities for later. The order of your day matters as much as the tasks themselves. A morning routine is particularly powerful. How you start the day influences the energy, focus, and mindset you carry into everything else. Successful people often have intentional morning rituals: exercise, meditation, reading, planning, or journaling. These practices prime the mind, build momentum, and create consistency. Even small changes, like avoiding your phone for the first 30 minutes, can have a significant impact on clarity and focus. Energy management is critical in daily routine design. Align tasks with your natural energy cycles. Most people have periods of peak focus and energy, as well as natural lulls. Schedule demanding, creative, or high-priority work during peak energy times. Reserve routine, repetitive, or low-effort tasks for less productive periods. This strategy maximizes output while reducing burnout. Breaks and recovery are essential. A productive routine is not about non-stop work, it is about rhythm. Deep work requires periods of intense focus, followed by rest. Techniques like the Pomodoro method, working for 25-50 minutes, then taking a short break, enhance attention and prevent fatigue. Regular movement, hydration, and brief pauses reset your mind and sustain productivity throughout the day. Planning your day the night before reinforces control. A simple review of tasks, priorities, and goals prepares the mind for action. By visualizing the day ahead, identifying potential obstacles, and setting intentions, you create clarity and purpose. Morning decisions become easier, focus strengthens, and wasted mental energy decreases. Batching similar tasks together enhances efficiency. Grouping activities such as emails, calls, or errands prevents constant switching between unrelated tasks, which is mentally exhausting. Batching allows deeper engagement and reduces the friction of starting and stopping, freeing mental space for more important work. Eliminate distractions in your routine. Notifications, social media, and reactive behaviors fragment attention. Create designated periods for focused work, social interaction, and leisure. Boundaries are essential. Protecting your time ensures that intentional actions dominate the day rather than reactive responses. Routines should include time for reflection and learning. Journaling, reading, or self-assessment allows you to process experiences, extract lessons, and refine habits. This reflection reinforces growth and ensures that your routine is not just about doing tasks, but about continuous improvement. Consistency is key. A routine becomes powerful only when followed over time. Momentum builds as actions compound and habits solidify. Missing a day is normal, but returning to the routine immediately preserves its power. Long-term results come from small, repeated actions, rather than occasional bursts of effort. Accountability enhances routine adherence. Sharing goals, progress or daily intentions with a mentor, friend, or community increases the likelihood of consistency. Knowing that someone else is observing or supporting your progress motivates action and reduces the temptation to drift. Evenings are important in routine design. How you end the day influences sleep quality, mental recovery, and preparation for the next day. Include rituals that signal the mind it's time to wind down. Review accomplishments, plan tomorrow, disconnect from screens, and engage in relaxation or reflection. Evening routines consolidate learning and promote restful sleep, which is essential for mental clarity. Flexibility is also vital. Life is unpredictable, and routines should allow for adaptation without losing momentum. Fixed routines are helpful, but rigid adherence can cause stress when unexpected events occur. Learn to adjust while maintaining core practices, ensuring that essential habits remain intact, even when circumstances change. Incorporate physical movement and wellness practices. Exercise, stretching, or even short walks enhance energy, focus, and mood. Health is a key driver of mental and routine mastery. Neglecting physical well-being reduces productivity, decision-making ability, and emotional resilience. Nutrition and hydration play a similar role. Your daily routine should account for fueling the body and brain properly. Skipping meals, eating poorly, or neglecting hydration reduces focus, increases fatigue, and disrupts rhythm. Small adjustments, like planned meals and water intake, support sustained mental and physical performance. Time blocking is another powerful method. Assign specific windows for deep work, personal growth, and essential responsibilities. Treat these blocks as appointments. Avoid multitasking during these periods. Time blocking enforces structure, reduces decision fatigue, and maximizes attention. Your routine should also include moments of creativity and personal expression. Engaging in hobbies, exploration, or problem-solving outside of work stimulates the brain, reduces stress, and fosters innovative thinking. A routine is not just about productivity, it is about creating a balanced life that nurtures the mind, body, and spirit. Review and refine your routine regularly. What works today may need adjustment tomorrow. Weekly reviews allow you to assess energy levels, effectiveness, and alignment with goals. Remove activities that drain time without value, and reinforce practices that produce results. Iteration is essential for continual improvement. Finally, remember that a routine is a tool, not a cage. It should empower you, not restrict you. By designing your day intentionally, aligning tasks with energy and priorities, and maintaining consistency, your routine becomes a scaffold for growth, focus, and achievement. When your mind and your daily routine are aligned, every day becomes an opportunity to move closer to your goals. Intentional routines build habits. Habits build momentum, and momentum drives results. Mastery of your routine is mastery of your life. Chapter 3: Habit Formation. Turning actions into automatic success. Habits are the bridge between intention and results. While knowledge and mindset are crucial, it is your daily habits that ultimately determine your achievements. A habit is an action repeated consistently until it becomes automatic. When you turn productive behaviors into habits, success happens naturally, almost effortlessly. The first step in habit formation is awareness. Observe your current behaviors. Which actions move you closer to your goals, and which pull you away? Most people have routines that include unproductive patterns, often hidden in daily life. Awareness is essential because you cannot change what you do not notice. Track your activities, emotions, and triggers for a week. This data is the foundation for change. Next, understand the habit loop. Every habit has three components: the cue, the action, and the reward. The cue triggers the behavior, the action is the behavior itself, and the reward reinforces the habit. By analyzing this loop, You can deliberately design habits that serve your goals. Replace negative loops with positive ones. For example, if stress triggers snacking, replace the snack with a short walk or deep breathing. Start small. Attempting to overhaul your entire routine at once is overwhelming and often leads to failure. Begin with manageable actions that you can perform consistently. Small wins create momentum, reinforce confidence, and make larger changes possible over time. For example, if your goal is to exercise daily, start with 10 minutes a day instead of an hour. Consistency matters more than intensity at the beginning. Consistency is the key to habit formation. Repetition strengthens neural pathways in the brain, making actions automatic. Over time, the effort required to perform the habit decreases. The more consistently you act, the more ingrained the habit becomes. Even when motivation dips, an established habit continues, bridging the gap between intention and action. Environment shapes habits more than most people realize. The surroundings, cues and triggers in your environment influence behavior. Remove obstacles to good habits and introduce reminders that prompt desired actions. For instance, placing a water bottle on your desk encourages hydration, or keeping a journal visible promotes daily reflection. Adjusting your environment reduces reliance on willpower and increases automatic compliance with your goals. Accountability strengthens habit formation. Share your intentions with a mentor, friend, or group. When others are aware of your goals, the likelihood of follow-through increases. Tracking progress publicly, using charts or journals, reinforces commitment and creates positive reinforcement. Social accountability adds an external layer of motivation that complements internal drive. Focus on identity-based habits. Instead of framing habits around outcomes, focus on who you want to become. For example, rather than saying, "I want to run a marathon," adopt the identity, "I am a runner." When your actions align with your identity, habits become natural expressions of who you are, reducing internal conflict and resistance. Rewards are essential for habit reinforcement. Immediate rewards strengthen neural connections, making the behavior more likely to repeat. Choose rewards that align with your goals rather than undermine them. For example, allow a short break, a small treat, or a positive acknowledgement after completing a task. Rewarding progress keeps momentum high and reinforces positive behaviors. Habits often fail because of perfectionism. Missing a day or falling short does not erase progress. Focus on long-term consistencies rather than short-term perfection. Even imperfect action counts toward growth. Treat slips as opportunities to learn rather than evidence of failure. Resilience in habit formation is as important as the habit itself. Stacking habits accelerates progress. Combine new habits with existing ones to create routines that flow naturally. For example, if you want to meditate daily, stack it after brushing your teeth in the morning. Habit stacking leverages existing neural pathways, making new actions easier to adopt and maintain. Breaking negative habits is equally important. Identify triggers that initiate undesired behaviors and replace them with constructive alternatives. Awareness, environment modification, and rewards help weaken the old habit loop. It's not enough to willfully resist. Replacement behaviors make the process manageable and sustainable. Consistency and patience are critical. Habits do not form overnight. Research suggests it takes anywhere from 21 to 66 days for a behavior to become automatic, depending on complexity and individual differences. Accept that building habits is a gradual process. Focus on regularity rather than speed, and over time your behaviors will solidify. Focus and self-discipline enhance habit formation. Even when motivation is low, sticking to a routine builds reliability. Over time, your brain associates these repeated actions with progress, making habits self-reinforcing. Discipline fills the gap when excitement or initial enthusiasm fades. Visual cues reinforce habits effectively. Place reminders in your environment to prompt desired actions. Seeing your running shoes ready, A journal open or a book on the nightstand subtly nudges behavior toward your goals. External prompts reduce reliance on memory and willpower, increasing the likelihood of habit adherence. Tracking and measuring progress accelerates habit development. When you monitor behavior, you gain insight into patterns, progress, and obstacles. Journaling, apps, or checklists provide feedback, allowing you to adjust strategies and maintain consistency. Awareness of progress also provides motivation and satisfaction, reinforcing long-term commitment. Account for triggers and context. Many habits are context-dependent. The time, location, or emotional state can trigger behaviors. Recognize these factors to design positive cues and reduce negative influences. For example, if stress leads to snacking, identify alternative stress relief methods to break the loop. Reflection and review strengthen habit mastery. Weekly reviews allow you to analyze successes, failures, and areas for improvement. Reflection encourages awareness, adaptation, and intentionality. By reviewing patterns, you reinforce learning and fine-tune habits for maximum effectiveness. Long-term success depends on building compound habits. Individual habits create small gains, but multiple aligned habits compound to produce extraordinary results. Each small, consistent action feeds into larger patterns of achievement. Over time, the effect is exponential. Flexibility is also important. Life is unpredictable, and rigid adherence to habits can create stress. Adapt while maintaining core behaviors. The goal is not perfection but sustainable, continuous growth. By embracing flexibility, you preserve momentum and reduce burnout. Finally, understand that habits define identity. Every action reinforces who you are becoming. Mastering habit formation is more than efficiency. It is shaping your character, discipline, and mindset. Automatic positive behaviors create a life where progress flows naturally, reducing friction between intention and achievement. When your habits align with your goals and values, success becomes inevitable. By designing, reinforcing, and refining your actions, you move closer to mastery every day. Habit formation is not merely a strategy, it is the engine that drives consistent, automatic progress toward your desired life. Chapter 4. Building consistency. The key to lasting change. Consistency is the invisible force that separates those who achieve lasting success from those who stumble despite talent or ambition. It is the daily repetition of intentional actions that compounds into extraordinary results over time. While motivation fluctuates and circumstances change, consistency remains the stabilizing force that drives growth, productivity, and mastery. The first principle of consistency is understanding that small, repeated actions matter more than occasional bursts of effort. Many people try to overhaul their lives overnight, starting with high intensity and massive goals. While the initial energy can feel exhilarating, it rarely lasts. Long-term change is built on persistent, manageable steps that become habitual over time. Consistency is rooted in commitment. When you commit to a goal, you dedicate yourself to showing up every day, regardless of challenges or emotional states. Commitment turns fleeting motivation into steady progress. Even on days when enthusiasm wanes, a consistent approach ensures that actions continue, bridging the gap between intention and results. Routines are the backbone of consistency. Daily structures guide behavior, reduce decision fatigue, and create predictability. When habits are embedded within routines, consistent action becomes easier and more automatic. A routine without thoughtful structure, however, risks becoming mindless repetition. Purposeful planning ensures that each repeated action aligns with your overarching goals. Accountability enhances consistency. Sharing your goals with a mentor, friend, or community increases follow-through. External accountability acts as a motivator, reducing the likelihood of skipping actions. Public or private tracking, progress reports, or regular check-ins reinforce dedication, creating a supportive framework for sustained effort. Tracking progress is another essential strategy. Recording small wins, milestones, and completed tasks provides tangible evidence of progress. Seeing incremental improvements reinforces commitment and encourages persistence. It also provides valuable feedback, highlighting which approaches work and where adjustments are needed. Consistency also requires patience. Results rarely appear instantly. Long-term growth is a product of cumulative effort, often invisible in the short term. The compounding effect of repeated actions transforms lives quietly and steadily. Embracing patience ensures that temporary setbacks or slow progress do not derail your journey. Discipline is the companion of consistency. Motivation is unreliable. It fluctuates with mood, energy, and circumstances. Discipline, on the other hand, sustains action even when desire wanes. Establish rules, boundaries, and rituals that guide behavior consistently. These structures ensure that productive actions occur regardless of external conditions or internal feelings. Focus strengthens consistency. When attention is divided, action loses effectiveness. Concentrate on high-priority tasks, minimize distractions, and allocate dedicated blocks of time for deep work. Focused effort magnifies the impact of repeated actions, turning consistent effort into measurable results. Consistency is reinforced by identity-based habits. When actions align with your self-image, performing them becomes natural. Rather than acting out of obligation, you behave according to who you believe you are. For example, identifying as a person who exercises daily makes workouts a natural part of your life rather than a chore. Adaptability complements consistency. Life is unpredictable, and rigid routines can lead to frustration when obstacles arise. A flexible approach maintains core actions while adjusting strategies to accommodate new circumstances. Consistency does not mean perfection. It means sustained intentional action despite challenges. Celebrating progress is vital for maintaining consistency. Recognizing achievements, no matter how small, reinforces behavior and strengthens motivation. Positive reinforcement encourages continuation, while ignoring progress risks diminishing enthusiasm. Even simple acknowledgements can make repeated action more satisfying and sustainable. Energy management is key. Consistency requires physical and mental stamina. Ensure adequate sleep, nutrition, hydration, and movement to sustain daily action. When energy wanes, consistency falters. Align tasks with peak energy periods to maximize effectiveness and maintain momentum over time. Breaking large goals into smaller, actionable steps enhances consistency. Massive, undefined objectives are overwhelming and often lead to procrastination. By dividing goals into manageable components, you create clear, repeatable actions that build forward motion. Each small step compounds into significant progress. Mindset drives consistency as much as action. Believing in the importance of persistence, embracing growth, and viewing challenges as opportunities fosters repeated effort. Mental resilience ensures that temporary failures do not halt progress, and optimism reinforces the habit of showing up daily. Environment plays a crucial role in sustaining consistency. Surround yourself with supportive people, eliminate distractions, and create cues that prompt action. A conducive environment reinforces repeated behavior and minimizes reliance on willpower, which is limited and easily depleted. Consistency requires self-reflection. Regularly reviewing actions, results, and patterns allows adjustment and improvement. Reflection ensures that your repeated behaviors remain aligned with goals and do not become mindless repetition. Iteration maintains relevance and maximizes the impact of consistent action. Building consistency over time creates momentum. The power of repeated action compounds, turning ordinary effort into extraordinary results. As habits strengthen, routines solidify, and confidence grows, sustained action becomes easier, requiring less conscious effort and willpower. Even setbacks can be integrated into a consistent framework. Rather than viewing mistakes as failures, treat them as feedback, Analyze what went wrong, adjust and continue. A consistent mindset embraces learning while maintaining forward motion, ensuring that temporary disruptions do not derail long-term growth. Finally, consistency is empowering. It transforms the way you approach life, shifting focus from sporadic, reactive behavior to deliberate, proactive effort. When actions are aligned, repeated, and reinforced, they produce results that feel inevitable. Mastery of consistency turns goals from wishful thinking into tangible achievements. When your mind is disciplined and your routines are structured, consistency becomes natural. The daily repetition of intentional actions compounds over time, shaping habits, building momentum, and producing extraordinary outcomes. Lasting change is less about occasional bursts of effort and more about showing up every day, deliberately, with purpose, and with resilience. Chapter 5. Focus and attention. Directing your energy where it counts. Focus is the currency of achievement. In a world overflowing with distractions, the ability to concentrate your attention on what truly matters determines your level of success. Time is limited, but focus multiplies its value. When you learn to direct your energy with clarity and purpose, every action produces greater impact. Most people underestimate the power of focused attention. They believe success depends on working harder, not smarter. But without focus, even hard work becomes scattered and inefficient. Imagine sunlight passing through a magnifying glass. When concentrated, that light can ignite fire. Similarly, when your mind focuses on a single goal, your energy becomes unstoppable. Focus begins with clarity. You must know exactly what matters most to you. Without a clear sense of direction, your mind wanders, chasing everything and achieving nothing. Write down your goals and priorities. Decide what deserves your energy, and more importantly, what doesn't. Clarity is the foundation of concentration. Once you define your priorities, eliminate distractions. The modern world is built to steal your attention. Social media, notifications, endless entertainment. Every distraction pulls you away from your goals, fragmenting your focus and draining your mental energy. You cannot reach greatness if your attention is constantly divided. To protect your focus, create boundaries. Set specific times for deep work, where your phone, social media, and other distractions are completely off. Designate a space that signals your brain it's time to concentrate. Boundaries are not restrictions. They are shields protecting your energy from being scattered. Attention functions like a muscle. It strengthens through practice. The more you train yourself to stay present, the easier it becomes. Meditation, journaling, or even quiet reflection can build this skill. Each time your mind drifts and you bring it back, you reinforce mental discipline. Over time, focus transforms from effort to habit. Multitasking is one of the greatest enemies of focus. Many people pride themselves on doing several things at once, believing it makes them more productive. In reality, multitasking divides your brain's attention and increases errors. True productivity comes from single tasking, immersing yourself fully in one task at a time. Depth, not speed, produces mastery. Energy management is crucial for sustained focus. Your brain's ability to concentrate fluctuates throughout the day. Identify your peak energy periods, times when you feel most alert and creative, and schedule your most demanding work then. During low energy times, do lighter tasks or take short breaks to recharge. Working with your natural rhythm enhances performance. Breaks are not a sign of weakness. They are tools for restoration. The brain cannot maintain intense focus indefinitely. Strategic pauses, like a short walk, stretching, or deep breathing, help reset attention and prevent burnout. Focus is not about working non-stop. It's about managing energy cycles efficiently. Purpose amplifies focus. When you connect your tasks to something meaningful, your concentration deepens naturally. If your work aligns with your values, your mind resists distraction. Ask yourself why your goal matters. When purpose fuels your actions, focus becomes effortless. because your heart and mind move in the same direction. Your environment either supports or sabotages focus. Create a workspace that promotes clarity and minimizes chaos. Keep your desk organized, remove unnecessary clutter, and ensure your surroundings inspire concentration. Visual order creates mental order. When your environment is calm, your mind follows. Technology can be both a tool and a trap. Use it wisely. Leverage apps that block distractions, set timers, and track productivity. But remember, no app can replace discipline. Technology should serve your focus, not steal it. If used intentionally, it can enhance your ability to stay on track and measure progress. Attention thrives on intention. Each morning, identify your top 3 priorities for the day. This simple ritual directs your energy toward what matters most. Avoid starting your day reactively by checking messages or social media. Begin with clarity and purpose, setting the tone for focused action. Mindfulness strengthens concentration by anchoring attention in the present moment. When you practice mindfulness, you learn to notice when your mind drifts and gently return it to the task at hand. The ability to stay present transforms how you work, communicate, and create. You become fully engaged, reducing stress and increasing effectiveness. Focus also requires saying no. Every commitment you accept consumes time and energy. Learn to decline opportunities that don't align with your priorities. Saying no to what's unimportant is saying yes to your growth. Boundaries protect the space where excellence is built. The flow state represents the highest form of focus. It's the moment when time disappears, distractions fade, and you are completely immersed in your work. Flow occurs when challenge and skill meet perfectly. To enter flow, minimize interruptions, set clear goals, and work just beyond your comfort zone. Mastering focus opens the door to flow. Overthinking disrupts focus. Many people waste mental energy worrying about outcomes instead of acting. Shift your attention from results to process. Focus on what you can control, your effort, discipline, and attitude. When you stay engaged in the present, outcomes take care of themselves. Self-discipline is the guardian of focus. It ensures that you act on your priorities, not impulses. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you strengthen your discipline. This inner muscle grows with repetition, allowing you to stay centered even when the world pulls you in different directions. Visualization enhances attention. Before starting an important task, take a moment to visualize success. See yourself completing it with clarity and purpose. Visualization primes your brain to stay aligned with your intention, reducing mental noise and boosting engagement. Finally, focus grows through consistency. It's not a one-time effort, but a lifestyle. By practicing concentration daily, you train your mind to resist distractions naturally. Over time, focus becomes your default state, a calm, steady power that drives every action with precision. When you master focus, you master your mind. You stop reacting to noise and start creating with purpose. Every moment becomes intentional, every action deliberate. Success is no longer accidental. It becomes the natural outcome of a disciplined, focused mind, directing energy toward what truly matters. Chapter 6. The Power of Morning Routines, Starting Strong Every Day. How you start your day determines how you live your day. The first few hours after waking set the rhythm for everything that follows: your energy, mood, productivity, and mindset. A strong morning routine acts as an anchor, giving you control before the world's chaos begins. It's not just about waking up early, it's about waking up with purpose. Most people wake up reacting, checking messages, scrolling through social media, or rushing to get ready. Their day begins in chaos, and that energy follows them until night. But when you design your mornings intentionally, you shift from reaction to creation. You decide how your day unfolds. You take control of your life, one morning at a time. A powerful morning routine doesn't have to be complicated. It needs to be consistent, intentional, and aligned with your goals. It should prepare your body, mind, and spirit for the day ahead. Even a simple 30-minute ritual can change how you think, act, and feel. The goal is to start your day strong so that momentum carries you forward. The first step is consistency in wake-up time. When you wake up at the same hour each day, your body builds rhythm. This regularity improves sleep quality, boosts energy, and sharpens focus. Waking up early isn't about punishing yourself. It's about creating space for calm, preparation, and reflection before the world demands your attention. Once awake, avoid your phone for at least the first 30 minutes. Those early moments belong to you. When you immediately check notifications, your brain goes into reaction mode, responding to external demands. Instead, use this sacred time to center yourself. Stretch, breathe, or simply sit in quiet gratitude. Movement is an essential part of a morning routine. Exercise, even briefly, activates your body and sharpens your mind. You don't need a full workout. A quick walk, yoga, or light stretching can increase blood flow and awaken energy. Physical activity triggers endorphins that boost mood and motivation for the rest of the day. Hydration is equally important. After hours of sleep, your body needs water to function optimally. Drinking water first thing in the morning jumpstarts your metabolism, flushes out toxins, and refreshes your system. It's a small act with a powerful effect on focus and vitality. Mindset practices set the tone for your thoughts. Meditation, deep breathing, or quiet reflection helps calm the mind and improve awareness. Even 5 minutes of mindful silence can ground your emotions and create mental clarity. Meditation doesn't have to be mystical. It's simply training your attention, preparing your mind for focus and calm. Gratitude transforms perspective. When you take a moment each morning to appreciate what you have, your health, opportunities, loved ones, you shift your energy from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude creates emotional stability and mental strength. It's a simple yet profound way to begin the day with positivity and purpose. Another powerful element of a morning routine is goal review. Take a few minutes to look at your top priorities for the day. What must be accomplished? What matters most? Writing or reviewing your goals focuses your attention and aligns your actions with purpose. Without direction, even the most productive day can feel meaningless. Visualization strengthens your motivation. Picture your day unfolding successfully, finishing projects, having meaningful conversations, feeling calm and confident. Visualization programs your subconscious mind for success. It prepares you to recognize opportunities and handle challenges effectively. Reading or listening to something uplifting also shapes a powerful morning. Feed your mind with knowledge or inspiration before the world fills it with noise. Read a few pages of a good book or listen to a short motivational message. These inputs influence your mindset far more than you realize. Journaling is another habit that elevates mornings. Writing your thoughts helps you process emotions, plan priorities, and clear mental clutter. It's like resetting your mind. Some people use prompts such as, "What am I grateful for today?" or "What's one thing I'll do to grow?" Journaling builds self-awareness and focus. Preparation the night before enhances your morning. Laying out clothes, planning meals, or organizing your workspace removes friction. When mornings flow smoothly, your energy is preserved for creativity and decision-making. Small acts of preparation create a calm, confident start to your day. The key to a great morning routine isn't how long it is, but how consistent it becomes. You don't need to do everything at once. Start small, build gradually. A 10-minute routine done daily is more powerful than an hour-long routine done inconsistently. Momentum matters more than perfection. Adaptability is also important. Your mornings will evolve as your life does. What matters most is maintaining intentionality. Even during busy seasons, keep 1 or 2 non-negotiable habits, perhaps gratitude and movement. These anchor points maintain balance when time is short. Many successful people guard their mornings carefully. They treat them as sacred, time to think, plan and prepare before the noise of the day intrudes. Whether it's journaling like Oprah Winfrey, exercising like Dwayne Johnson, or meditating like Ray Dalio, they all understand that strong mornings build strong lives. But remember, your morning routine should reflect you. Don't copy someone else's schedule blindly. Design rituals that fit your energy, values, and goals. If reading centers you, read. If silence grounds you, embrace quiet. The best routine is the one you'll actually follow with joy and commitment. Discipline is what keeps your routine alive. There will be mornings when you don't feel like getting up early or doing the work, but every time you follow through, you strengthen self-respect. Discipline is self-love in action. It proves that you can trust yourself to do what matters, even when it's hard. Your mornings also influence how you respond to stress. When you start grounded and calm, external chaos doesn't shake you as easily. You carry stability throughout the day. Morning routines don't eliminate problems. They equip you with the mindset to handle them better. Reflect at the end of each week. Which parts of your routine worked? Which didn't? Adjust and refine. Morning mastery is a process, not a finish line. The goal is continual improvement, to wake up each day a little more centered, a little more intentional, and a little more alive. When you control your mornings, you control your life. Each sunrise becomes an opportunity to renew focus, discipline, and gratitude. You stop drifting and start designing. The powerful morning routine turns ordinary days into stepping stones toward extraordinary success. Start small. Be consistent. Protect your mornings. The way you begin each day shapes the way you live each year, and ultimately the kind of person you become. Chapter 7: Discipline and Willpower. Strengthening your inner control. Success doesn't come from luck, motivation, or talent alone. It comes from discipline, the ability to stay consistent even when you don't feel like it. Motivation may start the journey, but discipline finishes it. It's the quiet force that pushes you to show up, do the work, and keep going when excitement fades. Discipline is self-control in action. It's saying no to distractions, yes to priorities, and staying focused when your emotions want the easy way out. Every great achievement, whether in business, health, or relationships, is built on the foundation of discipline. It's the bridge between goals and results. But discipline isn't about punishment or perfection. It's about commitment. It's about doing what's right, not what's easy. Every time you follow through on a promise to yourself, you build trust in your own ability. That trust becomes the engine of long-term success. Think of willpower as your internal muscle, the strength that helps you resist temptation and stay aligned with your values. Like any muscle, it grows when you use it and weakens when you neglect it. The more you practice self-control, the easier it becomes to make good choices automatically. However, willpower isn't infinite. It's like fuel. You start the day with a full tank, and each decision drains it a little. That's why successful people design systems that reduce the need for constant decision-making. They plan meals, set routines, and eliminate distractions, so they can use willpower for what truly matters. Discipline begins with clarity. When you know why something matters, it's easier to stay consistent. Without a strong reason, your brain quickly justifies quitting. Write down your reasons. Why do you want to improve? What's at stake if you don't? Purpose fuels discipline when motivation fades. Many people think discipline means having no fun, but it's actually freedom. Freedom from regret, chaos, and inconsistency. When you are disciplined, you're not a slave to your moods or impulses. You take charge of your behavior and your direction. That's real control. Start with small wins. Discipline is not about making massive changes overnight. It's about mastering tiny habits that build momentum. Wake up on time. Keep your word. Finish the task you start. Every small act of discipline adds strength to your inner foundation. Imagine your willpower as a battery. To recharge it, you need rest, nutrition, and self-care. Burnout drains discipline. When you're exhausted or stressed, your brain seeks comfort, not challenge. So balance hard work with recovery. Sleep well, eat clean, and take short breaks to reset your energy. Environment shapes discipline more than willpower alone. If you want to focus, design your surroundings for success. Remove temptations. Keep your workspace clean. Surround yourself with people who respect consistency. It's easier to be disciplined when your environment supports it rather than fights it. Self-discipline also means managing emotions. Anger, boredom, and frustration often lead to impulsive actions. When you learn to pause, breathe, and respond calmly, you strengthen emotional control. That pause between feeling and reaction is where power lives. Willpower grows when tested. Every time you resist an urge or delay gratification, you build strength. It's like lifting weights. The resistance is what makes you stronger. Don't fear struggle. See it as mental training. The harder it feels, the more you're growing. A practical strategy for building discipline is the rule of one. Focus on mastering one habit at a time. Trying to change everything at once leads to burnout. Pick one area, maybe exercising daily or writing for 30 minutes, and commit fully. Once it becomes automatic, move to the next goal. Another useful method is implementation intention. Instead of vague goals, like I'll exercise, be specific. I'll exercise at 7 a.m. in my living room for 20 minutes. Specific plans reduce uncertainty and make it easier to follow through. Discipline thrives on clarity. Discipline also means learning to delay rewards. Modern life trains us for instant gratification, quick entertainment, fast food, constant notifications. But lasting success requires patience. When you can postpone pleasure for a bigger purpose, you gain power over your impulses. Think about athletes, artists, or entrepreneurs. Their achievements come from years of consistent effort, not short bursts of excitement. They practice even when they're tired. They study even when others relax. That's the mindset of champions, doing what's necessary, not what's comfortable. Self-talk plays a massive role in discipline. Your inner dialogue can either push you forward or pull you back. Replace phrases like "I can't" or "I'm too tired" with "I choose to" and "I'm capable." Words shape actions. Speak strength into yourself daily. Accountability strengthens commitment. When someone else knows your goals, you're more likely to follow through. Share your plans with a trusted friend or mentor. Better yet, become your own accountability partner. Track your habits, review your progress, and reward consistency. Remember that failure doesn't erase discipline. Missing a day or slipping up doesn't mean you've lost progress. What matters is how quickly you get back up. Discipline isn't about never falling, it's about never staying down. Each comeback builds resilience. Forgiveness is part of discipline too. Being harsh on yourself for small mistakes drains motivation. Learn from them instead. Every stumble is feedback, not final judgment. The goal is progress, not perfection. One of the best ways to grow discipline is through structure. Create a daily schedule and stick to it. Schedule work, rest, and recreation. When your time has purpose, distractions lose power. Chaos fades when structure rises. Meditation and mindfulness also help strengthen willpower. They train your brain to focus and resist distraction. Even a few minutes of daily practice increases awareness and control. You learn to respond consciously rather than react emotionally. Your identity drives your discipline. When you start to see yourself as a disciplined person, your behavior aligns naturally. You don't need constant effort, It becomes who you are. Identity-based habits are more powerful than motivation-based habits. Remind yourself of your standards. Discipline isn't about doing more, it's about becoming more. It's choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term comfort. It's about being the kind of person who keeps promises, especially to yourself. There will always be days when you feel unmotivated, tired, or distracted. That's when discipline truly counts. Doing the right thing when it's hard is what separates average from exceptional. Every time you push through resistance, you strengthen your willpower muscle. In time, you'll notice something beautiful. Discipline becomes automatic. What once felt difficult becomes natural. You start to crave the peace that structure brings. You realize discipline isn't restriction, it's empowerment. It gives you freedom to build, create, and grow without being controlled by impulse. And as your self-discipline strengthens, so does your self-confidence. You no longer depend on external validation because you've proven to yourself that you can handle challenges. You begin to trust your own consistency. That inner trust is the foundation of unstoppable growth. So, when in doubt, take small, consistent action. When tired, show up anyway. When distracted, refocus gently. Discipline is built not in giant leaps, but in quiet repetition. The person you become tomorrow depends on the choices you make today, especially the difficult ones. Each time you follow through, you write a new story about who you are, strong, focused, and committed. Discipline isn't something you find, it's something you build. And when you build it, nothing can truly stop you. Chapter 8. Time Management Mastery. Making every minute count. Time is the one thing everyone gets equally. 24 hours a day. No matter who you are, rich or poor, young or old, time doesn't discriminate. What separates successful people from the rest isn't more time, but better use of it. Time management isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. Most people say they don't have enough time, but the truth is, they don't have enough focus. Time is never the problem. Attention. You can't control the number of hours in a day, but you can control how you spend those hours. When you learn to master your time, you gain control over your life. Think of time as life's currency. You spend it every single day, whether you realize it or not. The question is, are you investing it or wasting it? Successful people treat time like money. They spend it wisely, plan carefully, and avoid debt. Time debt means saying yes to things that don't serve your goals. Time mastery begins with awareness. Before you can manage your time, you need to know where it goes. For 1 week, track your hours honestly. How much goes to work, rest, social media, or distractions? You might be shocked to see how much time slips away without purpose. Awareness brings clarity, and clarity leads to control. Once you know where your time leaks, you can start plugging them. Eliminate or limit tasks that don't move you closer to your goals. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're saying no to something meaningful. Be selective with your commitments. Not everything deserves your energy. One of the most powerful tools for mastering time is prioritization. Not all tasks are equal. Some move your life forward, while others just keep you busy. Learn the difference between being busy and being productive. Productivity is doing the right things. Busyness is doing lots of things. Use the Eisenhower matrix as a mental model. Divide your tasks into 4 categories: important and urgent. Do these immediately. Important but not urgent. Schedule these. They create long-term growth. Urgent but not important. Delegate or minimize them. Not urgent and not important. Eliminate them completely. Most people live in category 3, constantly reacting to urgent but unimportant things like messages, notifications, and small favors. True growth happens in category 2, working on important but not yet urgent goals like exercise, learning, planning, and self-development. Another key to mastering time is planning ahead. Spend 10 minutes each night planning your next day. Write down your top 3 priorities, not 10, just 3. These are the tasks that, if completed, will make your day successful. By morning, you'll already know what matters most. Morning is your golden time. Your brain is fresh, your energy is high, and your willpower is full. Protect your first hours fiercely. Don't waste them scrolling through your phone or answering random messages. Start your day with focus, and it sets the tone for everything that follows. Many people underestimate how much multitasking destroys productivity. Your brain can only focus on one thing at a time. Switching between tasks constantly makes you slower and more prone to mistakes. Deep focus, on the other hand, creates flow, a state where you lose track of time because you're fully absorbed in your work. To improve focus, try the Pomodoro technique. Work for 25 minutes, rest for 5. After 4 cycles, take a longer 15 to 30-minute break. This trains your brain for deep work while preventing burnout. Over time, you'll notice that you get more done in less time. Also, learn to say no, politely but firmly. Every yes you give is time borrowed from your future. If something doesn't align with your priorities or purpose, it's okay to decline. Saying no to others often means saying yes to yourself. Your environment plays a huge role in time management. A cluttered space leads to a cluttered mind. Organize your surroundings so your tools are easy to find and your distractions are minimized. When your environment supports focus, your productivity naturally rises. Another time management secret is batching tasks. Instead of checking emails 10 times a day, do it twice. Instead of doing laundry randomly, pick one day for chores. Grouping similar tasks saves time and mental energy because your brain stays in the same mode longer. Also, automate what you can. Use reminders, online tools, or systems that save time. Automation is like hiring invisible assistants. They do repetitive work, so you can focus on higher value actions. Break large goals into smaller, actionable steps. Many people waste time procrastinating because they feel overwhelmed. But once you divide a big goal into smaller chunks, the task becomes manageable and easier to start. Action creates momentum, and momentum destroys procrastination. Speaking of procrastination, it's the silent killer of dreams. It's not laziness, it's fear disguised as delay. You procrastinate because something feels uncomfortable. Maybe it's boring, difficult, or uncertain. The cure is simple but powerful. Start small. Do the first 5 minutes. Once you begin, momentum takes over. Energy management is just as important as time management. You can have hours of free time, but zero energy to use them well. Protect your energy by sleeping enough, eating healthy, and staying hydrated. High energy turns hours into results. Low energy turns them into waste. Sometimes, people chase perfect schedules and end up stressed when things go off track. Remember, time management isn't about strict control. It's about flexibility. Life happens. Learn to adapt, adjust, and refocus without losing momentum. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Use your evenings to reflect. Ask yourself, did I spend my time on what truly mattered? What can I improve tomorrow? What moments today made me proud? Reflection helps you realign your actions with your intentions. Without reflection, you repeat the same mistakes. With it, you evolve. Don't forget to schedule rest and play. Productivity doesn't mean constant work. The brain needs downtime to recharge creativity and focus. Rest isn't a reward, it's a requirement. Balance effort with recovery. Just like muscles need rest after a workout, technology can either be your ally or your enemy. Set digital boundaries. Use apps that track time, block distractions, or remind you to take breaks. But don't let your phone control your schedule. If you check social media for 5 minutes and lose an hour, that's time theft. Focus on time ownership, treating every minute as your responsibility. You can't blame anyone for wasted time. Once you take full ownership, you become more intentional with every decision. That awareness alone can transform your productivity. Also, protect your mornings and evenings. The bookends of your day, these times are under your control. Start with purpose, end with reflection. Between them lies your most productive zone. Sometimes managing time is less about doing and more about being. When you're fully present in what you're doing, eating, walking, working, you experience life deeply. Rushing through tasks doesn't create happiness. Mindful action does. Every moment you waste is gone forever. But the good news is, it's never too late to start managing your time better. One focused hour today can be worth more than an entire wasted day tomorrow. It's not how much time you have, it's what you do with it. Time mastery means becoming intentional, making each minute count toward your growth, goals, and peace of mind. You stop living reactively and start living deliberately. That's the difference between existing and truly living. And here's the truth. When you learn to manage your time, you learn to manage your life. Because how you spend your hours is how you spend your years. And how you spend your years is how you shape your destiny. So, treat time like the most valuable treasure you own, because it is. Guard it, respect it, and invest it in what matters most. When you do, success stops being about luck. It becomes a daily habit. Chapter 9. The Power of Mindfulness and Mental Clarity. In a world filled with noise, speed, and endless distractions, mindfulness is like discovering a quiet room inside your mind. It's where clarity lives. It's where peace begins. Mindfulness doesn't mean escaping reality. It means being fully awake in it. It's the ability to live in the present moment, to focus deeply on what's happening right now, without being trapped by the past or anxious about the future. Many people live their days half present. Their bodies are here, but their minds are somewhere else, thinking about yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's worries. This constant mental drifting drains energy, causes stress, and blurs focus. But mindfulness brings your attention home. It reconnects you to the present, where life actually happens. When you master mindfulness, you gain mental clarity, the ability to see things as they are, without emotional fog or confusion. Clarity helps you make better choices, manage emotions, and respond calmly instead of reacting impulsively. It gives you space between what happens to you and how you choose to respond. Think of your mind as a glass of water. When you shake it, the water becomes cloudy, and you can't see through it. That's what stress and overthinking do. But when you set the glass down, the water becomes still, and clarity returns. Mindfulness is that stillness, the quiet that allows understanding to rise naturally. The simplest way to begin mindfulness is through breathing. Your breath is always with you, always in the present moment. When you pay attention to it, the way air enters your lungs, the rhythm of inhale and exhale, your mind slows down. Breathing deeply signals your brain to relax, lowers stress hormones, and creates calm focus. Try this. Close your eyes for a moment and take a slow, deep breath. Feel it fill your lungs, hold it for a second, then release it gently. That single mindful breath connects you to the present moment. It reminds you that you're alive, here, now. Mindfulness doesn't mean your mind will always be quiet. Thoughts will still come. Plans, worries, memories. The goal isn't to stop them, but to observe them without judgment. You simply notice, I'm thinking. Then you let the thought pass, like watching clouds drift across the sky. With practice, mindfulness creates space between thoughts and emotions. Instead of being pulled into every worry, you begin to see patterns. You realize that most thoughts are temporary, like waves that rise and fall. You no longer drown in them. Mindfulness also strengthens focus. When you train your attention to stay in one place, whether it's your breath, a sound, or a task, your brain becomes sharper. Studies show that mindfulness meditation increases concentration, improves memory, and enhances creativity. It's mental exercise for your attention muscle. Clarity grows when the mind becomes less cluttered. Many people carry too many open tabs in their brain. Unfinished tasks, old regrets, future fears. Mindfulness helps close those tabs. It teaches you to focus on one thing at a time. When your mind stops multitasking, it finds peace. Being mindful also transforms how you experience ordinary moments. Drinking tea, walking outside, or listening to music becomes richer when you're fully present. You notice details, the warmth of the cup, the sound of birds, the rhythm of your steps. Mindfulness turns routine into beauty. But mindfulness is more than meditation. It's a way of living. You can be mindful while eating, working, or talking to someone. It's about being there, not just physically but mentally and emotionally. When you listen mindfully, people feel heard. When you work mindfully, quality increases. When you rest mindfully, recovery deepens. Mindfulness also helps manage stress. Stress often comes from resistance, from wishing things were different. Mindfulness teaches acceptance, not giving up, but seeing reality clearly. When you accept what is, you stop fighting the present. That acceptance frees energy to take action calmly and wisely. One of the greatest benefits of mindfulness is emotional balance. Instead of being controlled by anger, fear, or anxiety, you begin to watch those feelings rise and fade. You realize that emotions are visitors. They come, they stay for a while, and they leave. You learn not to attach your identity to them. For example, instead of saying, "I am angry," you can say, "Anger is here." That small change of language creates distance. It reminds you that you are not your emotions, you are the awareness behind them. That awareness is your strength. Clarity also comes when you reduce mental clutter. Too much input, news, social media, constant stimulation, clouds the mind. Just like your body needs rest, your brain needs silence. Spend a few minutes each day away from screens. Let your thoughts settle. This digital detox restores mental clarity and emotional calm. Journaling can also deepen mindfulness. Writing down your thoughts helps you process and understand them. It's like holding up a mirror to your mind. When you see your worries or desires on paper, they lose their grip on you. Journaling clears confusion and strengthens self-awareness. Nature is another powerful teacher of mindfulness. Spend time outside, watch the sunset, feel the breeze, listen to the rain. Nature moves slowly, patiently. It reminds you that life doesn't need to be rushed. Just like the ocean's tide, everything unfolds in its own rhythm. One common myth is that mindfulness takes too much time. In truth, it takes moments. You can practice it anywhere, while brushing your teeth, driving, or waiting in line. All you do is bring your attention to what's happening now. The more you do it, the more automatic it becomes. Over time, mindfulness rewires your brain. Science shows that regular practice strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making and emotional control, while calming the amygdala, which triggers stress responses. You literally train your brain for peace and clarity. Mindfulness also connects you with gratitude. When you slow down and truly notice life, you begin to appreciate small blessings, sunlight through the window, laughter with a friend, a moment of silence. Gratitude isn't forced. It grows naturally from awareness. And when your mind becomes clear, decisions become easier. You stop reacting out of fear or impulse and start choosing from wisdom. You begin to trust your intuition, that quiet voice inside that knows what feels right. Clarity gives you confidence in your own judgment. However, mindfulness isn't about perfection. Some days, your mind will be busy. Some days, you'll forget to breathe consciously. That's okay. Every time you remember to return to the present, you're training your awareness. Progress in mindfulness is gentle. It's about returning, not achieving. You'll notice something interesting as you practice. Time feels slower. That's because mindfulness pulls you out of autopilot. You actually experience your life instead of rushing through it. The moments you used to miss, the smile, the taste, the breeze, become treasures again. Clarity also brings purpose. When your mind is calm and focused, you see what truly matters. You stop chasing every distraction. You align your actions with your values. Your time, energy, and attention all begin to serve your growth instead of chaos. In relationships, mindfulness builds deeper connection. When you listen fully, without interrupting or planning your next reply, people feel valued. Presence is the greatest gift you can offer another person. Over time, mindfulness transforms not just your days, but your life. You become calmer under pressure, more grateful, more focused, and more compassionate. You stop living in constant reaction and start living with intention. The truth is, mindfulness isn't something you do. It's something you remember. You remember that life is happening now, not later. You remember that peace isn't found in a future goal, but in this very breath. So, pause right now. Take one slow, deep breath. Feel the air. Feel your heartbeat. Feel the quiet space inside you. That's mindfulness, the art of being fully alive. When your mind becomes clear, life becomes clear. You begin to see the beauty, the lessons, and the opportunities that were always there waiting for your attention. Mindfulness doesn't add more to your life. It reveals what was already there. Peace, focus, and joy. And that's the power of mental clarity. Chapter 10. The Mastery of Balance. Sustaining growth without burnout. Balance is not about standing still. It's about learning how to move with stability, to grow without breaking, to chase success without losing peace. In a world that glorifies hustle and constant motion, balance is a rare form of mastery. It is the silent strength that keeps your growth sustainable and your soul nourished. We live in a time when ambition is everywhere. Everyone wants to be more, do more, achieve more, but if you push without pause, you eventually burn out. Burnout doesn't happen overnight. It's the slow fading of your energy, joy, and motivation. You begin to feel heavy, disconnected, and tired, even when you rest. Balance is the antidote to that slow burn. True growth is not about running faster. It's about running smarter. It's understanding that progress without peace is just pressure. If your success costs your mental health, your relationships, or your inner joy, it's not real success. Balance protects your energy so that you can keep moving forward, not just for a season, but for a lifetime. To master balance, you first have to understand your limits. Limits are not weaknesses, they're boundaries that protect your power. Just like a battery, your mind and body need recharging. When you rest, you're not being lazy, you're refueling your focus, your creativity, and your emotional strength. Think about it this way, even the ocean has tides. It moves in and out. Constant rhythm, not constant motion. Growth follows the same principle. There's a time to push, and a time to pause. There's a time to build, and a time to breathe. Mastery comes when you learn which moment you are in. One of the most powerful skills you can develop is energy awareness, knowing where your energy goes and how it returns. Every activity, every person, every thought either gives energy or takes it away. Balance is about managing that exchange wisely. Start by noticing what drains you and what restores you. Some tasks, even when hard, make you feel alive. That's productive struggle. Others leave you empty. That's emotional leakage. The more aware you become, the more control you gain over your energy flow. Balance also means learning to say no. Every yes is a commitment of time and energy. When you say yes to everything, you eventually have nothing left for what truly matters. Saying no isn't selfish, it's self-respect. It's protecting your focus for the things that align with your purpose. In pursuit of growth, many people forget their bodies, but your physical state shapes your mental state. Sleep, nutrition, and movement aren't optional. They are foundations of sustainable performance. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't think clearly when your body is exhausted. Sleep is your brain's reset button. During deep rest, your mind organizes memories, repairs cells, and restores emotional balance. Skipping sleep doesn't give you more time. It steals clarity, patience, and creativity. Rest is not a luxury. It's part of the work. Movement also matters. Exercise isn't just for health, it's for harmony. When you move, you release stress and stimulate brain chemicals that boost mood and focus. Even a short walk can recharge your mental batteries. Nutrition fuels your energy system. What you eat becomes your mood, your focus, and your stamina. Balanced growth starts with balanced nourishment, whole foods, plenty of water, and mindful eating instead of mindless snacking. But physical balance alone isn't enough. You also need emotional balance, the ability to stay grounded when life gets chaotic. Emotional balance doesn't mean you never feel anger, sadness, or fear. It means you can feel them without being controlled by them. You ride the waves without drowning. Emotional balance grows from self-awareness. When you understand your triggers, the things that drain your emotional energy, you can respond instead of react. You create space between feeling and action. That space is where wisdom lives. Mindfulness, as discussed in the previous chapter, is the bridge to emotional balance. It helps you observe your emotions without judgment and return to calm more quickly. When you practice mindfulness daily, balance becomes easier, because your awareness becomes your anchor. Balance also requires prioritization. Not everything in your life deserves equal weight. Some things matter deeply. Relationships, health, purpose, while others are just noise. When you try to do everything, you dilute your power. Focus on what truly aligns with your values. Here's a simple truth. Busyness is not productivity. Many people fill their days with endless activity, but make little real progress. Balance comes from doing fewer things, but doing them with full focus and heart. Quality over quantity always wins in the long run. To maintain balance, schedule rest before exhaustion. Don't wait until your body crashes or your motivation fades. Build pauses into your routine. Short breaks, daily quiet time, or weekends that truly disconnect you from work. These pauses are not interruptions. They're part of your performance cycle. You can think of your life as a symphony. Every note, work, rest, learning, play, has a rhythm. If you play only one note too long, the music becomes noise, but when you balance them, life becomes harmony. Balance also applies to ambition. Dream big, yes, but also learn to appreciate where you are. Gratitude grounds ambition. When you're grateful, you chase goals from joy, not from lack. That shift changes everything. It turns pressure into purpose. Another powerful tool for balance is reflection. Take time each week to ask yourself, what energized me this week? What drained me? What can I adjust to feel more aligned? These questions build awareness and help you fine-tune your routine. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. It's also important to release perfectionism. Perfection is a trap that destroys balance. It keeps you stuck in endless striving, never satisfied. Remember, growth isn't about being flawless, it's about being consistent. Small, steady steps create long-term results. Balance means accepting that some days you'll do more, and some days you'll need rest. That's okay. Life moves in seasons. You can't bloom all year long, and you're not meant to. Winter prepares the soil for spring. Rest prepares your mind for the next breakthrough. When burnout begins to creep in, the signs are subtle. Irritability, low motivation, numbness, or lack of joy in things you used to love. Don't ignore these signs. They're signals from your body and mind asking for care. Listen early, and you'll recover faster. Sometimes balance means slowing down, not because you're weak, but because you're wise enough to protect your future self. You can't sprint forever. Even elite athletes train in cycles, intense effort followed by deliberate recovery. The same principle applies to personal growth. Spiritual balance also plays a role. Whether you find it through faith, nature, silence, or service, connecting with something greater than yourself brings perspective. It reminds you that life is more than achievements. It's about meaning, connection, and contribution. Balance is also about boundaries in relationships. Surround yourself with people who support your peace, not just your progress. The right circle respects your need to rest and recharge. The wrong circle drains your energy with drama or negativity. Protect your space. Peace is priceless. To sustain long-term growth, create rituals, not just routines. Rituals are intentional actions that anchor you. Morning gratitude, evening reflection, deep breathing before meetings. They keep you centered when life gets noisy. You can even design your day for balance using the Power Hour method. 1 hour divided into 3 segments. 20 minutes of movement, 20 minutes of learning or reading, 20 minutes of quiet reflection. This simple habit nurtures body, mind, and spirit daily. Balance also means celebrating small wins. Many people delay joy until they reach big goals, but life happens in the small steps between milestones. Acknowledge.
Welcome to the future of UGC video creation with Jog AI. Just type your script to get started.